Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and also welcome to the new location. I'm indoors. I'm not in a freaking car, and it feels so nice to just be inside in warmth. No one can see me, no one can hear me. I can just waltz into another room, and that's that. I don't need to layer up, pack a bag, walk to the car, let the car heat up for 10 minutes because I started this podcast in the winter and I can't leave the car on with the heat on as I record because it was too loud. So I'd have to heat it up first, turn it off, and then within an hour it would start getting freezing. Also, there was people walking by and I would get mute for a few seconds because someone's staring me in the eyes because they see a phone stuck to the windshield, microphone in hand. And they're like, what the hell is this girl doing? So it would throw me out of flow state because I have to stop talking for a second because I was uncomfortable. So I'm really glad that's all over with. And now I'm in a safe space. I'm in my crisscross TikTok shop chair. I got by TikTok shop because I love sitting as a pretzel, and this chair is really wide and has no armrest, so you can just cross your legs as wide as you want. It's great. This is not a TikTok shop ad. With that being said, I think I'm just going to get right into the episode, and I'm not going to spend the first 15 minutes talking about my life and random updates and random stories that have nothing to do with the topic. Because if you're someone that's new to me and you just happen to stumble across my YouTube or my Spotify and you saw an episode title that caught your attention and it was something that you can relate to, so you click on it, and then I'm just talking about myself for 15 minutes, I would click out of me too. So I'm going to start just getting right into it, what the meat of the episode is. And this is a topic that I've actually been planning on talking about ever since I decided that I want to start a podcast. This was one of the first topics that came to my mind to talk about. It was one of my greatest character flaws. Something that I struggle with weekly is that I have FOMO. And I know to some degree everyone feels FOMO sometimes, that's normal, okay? I was a biology major in college, so my brain is kind of still wired to always relate everything to evolution and remember why we are the way we are. It's just human instinct. With FOMO, for example, it literally is part of our human survival instinct to not want to be left out. You want to be a part of a community, and it's scary to feel alone. That's part of our human instinct. So that's what I tell myself, at least. Oh, it's just evolution's fault that I feel this way. But I think it is true. We all have that human reaction to not want to be left out. That's normal. That's cool. That's awesome. That's human. Yeah, we can all relate to it. What I don't think we can all relate to, and what's so not cool and awesome, is the level that I experience FOMO. I feel FOMO about everything. Everything. I'll just be tapping through Instagram stories and I'm like, oh, what are they doing there? Oh, why wasn't I invited there? Oh, I want to go there. I want to go to that city. Oh, why wasn't I invited to that event? I feel FOMO over everything, and I really think that I was getting better at it for a while because a lot of the things that I feel FOMO over are these invite only events and stuff like that. And when I started actually going to some of those and I realized that they're so not what they're talked up to be, I thought that my FOMO was getting better because I was like, oh, I actually don't fear of missing out on these things anymore because I know that they're not as cool or necessary to be there as I imagined them to be. My peak of FOMO was definitely when I was in school. I felt like I had to go out every weekend or else I would be missing out. If even one of my friends was going out, I felt like I had to go out because what if I miss out? What if they have so much fun? What if this is the best weekend ever and I'm not there? I felt like I had to go out every single night or else I was missing out. And I didn't even enjoy going out. I was never a drinker or a partier. I just liked going out to be included. I just didn't want to miss out. And then after the weekend comes, everyone's talking about how fun their weekend was, and I wasn't a part of it. And what if they made new friends without me? And what if they made all these cool new memories and experiences without me? that was what pushed me to go out all the time, was my FOMO. So obviously, as I got older and I graduated college, I thought that I was like beating FOMO, because I was like, oh, I don't feel a need to go out anymore. I'm so that I can confidently say, like, I don't feel FOMO over that stuff anymore. If someone posts a club or a party, nothing in me is like, oh my God, I need to be at that club right now. Like, nothing in me feels that. So I thought that I was beating FOMO, but I've realized now the things that I feel FOMO over just changed. Now it's more like grown up things that I feel FOMO over, like trips and vacations and events and job opportunities and stuff like that. I see other people doing it. And if it's like something that I feel like I would have been a good fit for, or something that I would have really enjoyed, I'm like, oh, like I wish that I could be doing that. I think FOMO goes hand in hand with jealousy a lot, and I definitely struggle with jealousy a little bit, okay? When I see people with things that I want, or like doing things that I strive for, I do get jealous. And you know what? I'm also going to go ahead and say that that's human to feel jealous. Do I think that I'm more on the extreme end than like most people when it comes to feelings of jealousy? Maybe. But I do think that my jealousy that I feel towards things somehow has helped me in some ways, because I do think it's like really pushed me to do a lot of things, because I'm like, I feel like I want these things that I see other people doing, so I gotta try to get it. So I don't think jealousy is like fully bad, but what is bad is my feelings of FOMO making me think that I'm like not worthy. Like, I take things really personally, and if I'm not invited to something, not only am I like feeling FOMO, like I'm feel like I'm missing out, and like, what if I could have done this there and met these people there? Like, not only am I like feeling that fear of missing out, I'm also like questioning my entire worth. And I'm like, oh my God, why? How come I can't get invited to these things? And I turn into this like whole serious thing. So like, when it gets to that level, then it's like not cute and human, and like then you can't blame it on like human evolution anymore. So the reason I specifically wanted to film this episode this week, it was like a sign. This was like a calling for me to speak about FOMO, because what happened to me last week was actually bizarre. And now that you know that I kind of like a jealous FOMO girl, the fact that this happened to me of all people was just like a recipe for disaster. So I moved to a new area recently, and what I'm used to, where I used to live, it would take me like an hour and a half to get downtown by subway. So whenever I had an event or anything downtown, I would leave 2 hours early, because I am never late anywhere. That's one good thing I have. I'm early everywhere. I'm always the first person everywhere I go. So whenever I had an event that like started at 7, I would leave my house at 5 to make sure I got there in time and I was early. But since I now live a lot closer to where a lot of these events take place, I don't need to leave that early, but this is my first time ever taking the subway from my new apartment. So I still was like, let me just leave an hour early just in case it takes me a while. You never know. So I was trying this new workout class. They like just opened, they were inviting people in to try out this new class. It's like a skiing type of machine. Like, everyone goes to a machine as if it's Pilates, but it's a skiing machine. And you're like rowing. It was a hard workout. My arms were sore. So this class started at 6:30, I think, something like that. But I got there at like 5:45. So that's very early. It was a lot quicker for me to get downtown than I thought it was going to be. So I'm there super early. So I'm like, what should I do to kill time? So I look on maps. I'm like, what's nearby? I see that it's near an espresso store. And I recently got a new Nespresso machine. I used to have the original with like the little pods, and now I have the Virtuo machine that uses those big pods. And I only had like 2 left. I only had 1 sleeve that came with the package. So I needed to buy more, and I was like, this is perfect. Like, I can go to the real Nespresso store. I've only ever gone to the ones that are in Bloomingdale's with my grandpa. For context, my family loves Nespresso. We're Albanian, Eastern European. They're obsessed with espresso. My mom and my grandpa alone go through like a sleeve a day. They literally drink like 5 each a day. It's actually crazy. Like, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but my mom especially, like, she will not miss a day without drinking like 5 espressos. They love Nespresso. It's the only brand they ever purchase their espresso from. My grandpa goes every month, and restocks and buys their literal cases. The last time I went with him, I filmed it and I posted a video of him because he's the cutest grandpa ever. He literally looks like a cartoon little cute grandpa. Like he's just, when you think of a grandpa, like that's my grandpa. Like he just looks so grandpa. He's the cutest little guy. So I was like, I have to record him restocking his Nespresso. Like people are gonna love this. So I post this video of my grandpa restocking his Nespresso. It goes kind of viral. Nespresso sees it. They even sent him a gift. Like the machine that I have was technically for my grandpa. They reached out and they were like, "We saw your video. It's so cute." They sent a machine. I actually tried recording him opening the box, but they didn't really set it up as like a PR package, which is what I was expecting. Like you would open it and there's like a letter and like everything's presented so you can see what it is. That's what I was expecting. So I started recording it, but they more so just sent it like in the cardboard packaging as if you just like ordered it online. So then I couldn't post the video because my grandpa was just so confused. He opened the box and he was like, "What is this?" He also doesn't speak English. So like it was an awkward vibe. We had to like get a knife, cut open the cardboard. Never ended up posting the opening box video, but they did send him a gift. So now you know my family loves Nespresso. Literally Nespresso's biggest fans. They were shocked that like Nespresso gifted us stuff for free. Like they still talk about it all the time. Like I can't believe Nespresso sent stuff because they don't really understand like social media or anything like that. As I was walking into this Nespresso flagship store, I'm recording because I'm going to send it to my family group chat. I also kind of just record everything. So I'm like, you never know when you're going to need content. So I'm walking into the store recording. And once I walk in, a girl comes up to me and she's like, "Hi, are you here for the event?" And I freeze. I start looking around like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was an event going on. I'm so sorry. Like, I just came to buy pods." And she was like, "Oh no, like you're fine. The store is open. I just thought you were here for the event. There's an event happening downstairs." And I didn't really question it. Like that could mean anything. It could have been a corporate event. It could have been an employee event. Like it could be the people making the coffee all coming together and having a party for coffee beans and how good they are at making coffee beans. Like I didn't really question it. So I'm upstairs shopping my pods, walking around like, ooh, what are all these new Vertuo? They have these little like perfume puffs you can spray the beans. I'm having a grand old time. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm loving this. So, because the Bloomingdale's espresso doesn't have all that. So I'm having a time of my life sniffing these Nespressos. And then a few minutes later, I hear someone go, "Lizzie?" And I turn around and I'm like, "Oh my God, hi." And it's another content creator, someone that I'm mutuals with. We both follow each other. We've been following each other for a while. And I feel like when you're two content creators following each other and then you meet, it feels like you know each other because since you post so much, you're seeing this person every day and it feels like you know everything about them. So then when you meet, it feels like you're friends already. So right away, I was like, "Oh my God, hi." And he comes over to me and he's like, "Wait, are you here for the event?" And I'm like, no, I'm not here for the event. Are you?" He's like, "Yeah, wait, you're not invited to the event? Oh my gosh, what are you doing here then?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just shopping for pods. What a crazy coincidence. Like, what's this event?" I'm like dying to know what's going on down there. And he's like, "Oh, it's just like an influencer event. Nespresso's collabing with this brand and they're launching this new drink. So they're throwing a party for it. It's in collaboration with this and this and this. And like I know all these other people going. I'm just waiting for my friend. Like she'll be here soon. So I'll shop pods with you." And this is no shade to this kid. Like he was actually super nice about it. And I think that we would make great friends. So I hope he never comes across this and knows like how bothered I truly was over this and like how it kept me up at night. So me and him are chatting it up. We actually like were really hitting it off. He was super nice. Eventually his friend that he was waiting for comes. So I'm like, "Okay, bye. Send you guys off to the event. I hope you have so much fun without me." So they go downstairs to party it up and I go and buy my pods and I leave and I go to my workout class. And when I tell you guys, the entire workout class, I couldn't think about anything else except the fact that I wasn't invited to this party, this event. It's not even considered a party. It was making me sick for like so many reasons. Not only the FOMO of it all, because I know I mentioned before that I don't really feel FOMO over these type of events anymore because like I've gone to some now and I'm like they're really like the way people post about it online makes it seem way different than it really is. They're kind of usually very awkward and I just kind of want to leave them most of the time. So I stopped feeling that like desire to be at all these type of events. I thought I was getting past that. But this event specifically, I really truly was feeling FOMO over because I knew so many of the other people going, like were mutuals. And I was like, this is the one event that I think I would have actually had fun at and I would have actually made friends. I have no content creator friends, like at all. I have no one to talk to when it comes to like content and stuff. No one, like none of my friends even post online. So I feel like it would be nice if I had like some content creator friends. And for some reason, so many of my mutuals, like creators that I love and follow, and we message each other and stuff, were all invited to this event. So I was like, of all events, like this is one that I actually think I would have had a good time at and like made friends. And on top of the FOMO of it all, it was kind of just like really hitting me that it was Nespresso because I was like, my family loves Nespresso. Like I posted about Nespresso so many times. I would think I'm like somewhat on their radar. Like they've sent me stuff for my grandpa. They know about my cute grandpa. Like, so this one was hitting harder. So it was like, oof, like I actually feel like left out. I actually feel hurt by this, which is so dramatic over a stupid brand event. Like when I say these things out loud, it makes it a lot more apparent to me like how ridiculous it is and like why it's so ridiculous for me to even feel like sad or left out of these things. So my entire workout class, I'm just like beating myself up inside of my head as I'm like rowing my skis. I'm just like, oh, I suck. Like I don't get invited anywhere. No one wants anything to do with me. Brands hate me. Like brands don't want me in these places. They want nothing to do with me. I'm like really thinking about this entire class. And then when I get out, obviously I'm scrolling through Instagram stories. I see everyone, literally everyone I follow, every creator I follow at this event. And I was like, wow, like they had room. They had room to invite a lot of people. I wasn't even close to like being on the radar. So that it really did upset me. And I know it's something so stupid to be upset over, but like that's me. That's how my brain is. That's just how I am. So that was what inspired this episode of FOMO, that experience. And I also put together a list of other things that triggered my FOMO recently because I feel FOMO over a lot of things. And like recently, there's just been so much going on that I've been wishing I was at for some reason. And when I say them out loud, I realize how ridiculous it is. So I'm going to read you my list and then also tell you why it's ridiculous that I feared missing out on these things. Both New York and Milan Fashion Week. I don't even need to get into like why the Milan one is ridiculous, but the New York one, I didn't even know what Fashion Week was. And I grew up and lived in New York my entire life. And I didn't even know what Fashion Week was until the birth of TikTok, until I started seeing people post like their every move and people getting ready for Fashion Week. I really started understanding like what Fashion Week really is. I used to just see like Vogue videos on YouTube, like a Victoria's Secret model getting ready for Fashion Week. I thought it was only for like top echelon A-list celebrities and like normal people should never even expect to go there. Like I never it just seemed like this like whole other world thing and like something I need to know nothing about until TikTok came around and now like so many people go, just like a girl who yesterday was in college and now she's at every show at Fashion Week. It starts making, well, me at least, me with my FOMO issues, it starts making me question, like, oh, should I try to get invited to these shows? Is this like proof of success? Like, if you can get invited to Fashion Week, and if you don't, you suck. But if you do, you're cool. So the past few years, I've started feeling this FOMO over Fashion Week when I didn't even know what it was. And also, I'm not like a fashion girl. Like, I literally wear Depop and Brandy Melville. I know nothing about designer fashion. I hardly own any designer stuff. Why would I expect to be at a designer fashion show? And then last fall, actually, the day before the last day of New York Fall Fashion Week, I got an email from a brand that invited me to go to a brand. Like, it wasn't a fashion brand invited me, it was a hair brand. And they basically said, like, we'll give you a spot on our behalf to a fashion show if you do a video of our product. Like, I wasn't paid or anything, but I was like, this is my opportunity to finally experience Fashion Week and like see what goes on. By the way, they messaged me a day before the show, so I was very much probably like a backup option. Someone else canceled, and then they were like, "Who do we think is desperate enough?" That's probably what happened. But obviously, I agreed because I was like, "This is my chance. Like, I can find out what happens at Fashion Week." So I go, and if anyone else has ever been curious, like what goes on at Fashion Week, guys, I was expecting a fashion show, and this was a smaller brand. It wasn't like Prada or like one of those. It was a smaller brand that I wasn't even familiar with. So maybe the bigger ones are slightly different, but I don't think they are. I was talking to another girl who was like goes to a lot of them, and she said like, no, this is how they are. What actually happens at a fashion show is not what I was expecting. I was expecting a fashion show to be like the Victoria's Secret fashion show, like a huge situation. There's like an introduction. The walking goes on for a while. Then there's a performance. Then there's more girls walking. And then there's another performance. And then there's an outro. And then you hang around and there's like drinks and bites. And it's like a whole situation. That's what I imagined. What it actually was, the one I went to at least. And then I've been, like I said, I've been told this is how they actually are. I'm sure like the super, super high end brands are maybe a little different. But from what I've been told, this is how they actually all are. So when you first arrive, there's paparazzi outside. Obviously, if you're not someone famous, they don't snap at you. You just awkwardly walk past them. Someone tells you where to sit. You sit next to random people, and there's chattering going on for a few minutes, and then it gets silent. Everyone stops speaking, and some low music starts playing. The girls, the models start walking out. Super fun, super cute. You're like, whoa, I'm experiencing a fashion show in real life. This is so cool. And then it's over. 5 minutes later, it's over. It's over. The designer walks out, waves, says thank you. Everyone stands up and leaves. That's it. That's it. I maybe that's common knowledge. I was not expecting that. I thought that it's like a party. Like you stay after, everyone chit chats, everyone networks. No, you get up and leave once it's over. Like it's over, it's over. You walk out. And then since I was able to experience it in real life, I kind of stopped feeling FOMO over it. And actually that same brand invited me back to do like the same exchange for this fashion week, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like I don't want to be do unpaid work just to go to a 4 minute fashion show for a brand that I don't even know of. So I think that was like huge progress in my FOMO. Okay, I'll go through the other ones quickly. Another thing that I've been feeling FOMO over, Aspen. Aspen in general. Everyone's been going to Aspen. I'm seeing everyone in their cute little ski outfits in these snowy little cabin. I don't even know what they're called. Like that's how little I know about skiing that I don't even know what those houses are called. Cottages, cabins, I don't know. Everyone's in Aspen in the snow in their cute outfits, in their cute little hotels that like just look so Aspen, and they're snowboarding and they're skiing and they're like doing all these cool winter things and they're like partying in their fur jackets. And I'm like, ooh, do I want to go to Aspen? Chris, should we plan a trip to Aspen? Like, but why? I don't know how to ski. I don't know how to snowboard. I don't party. I don't like to party even when I'm in like ideal weather conditions. Why would I want to party in the freezing cold? And then you have to pay for oxygen. I've been seeing people say that you have to like literally pay to go to an oxygen bank to breathe because you can't breathe outside. And still, like I know all this information. I'm like, yes, I want to go. I want to go there. Take me there. What's that sound? I want to go there. So that's another ridiculous one. Okay, this one's super ridiculous. Another thing that I feel FOMO over, which I don't even know if this counts as FOMO, TV shows. There's so many TV shows going on right now that everyone's talking about, like Tell Me Lies, for example. Like everyone was talking about that. And I'm like, I want to know like what they're talking about, like what's going on. And then I saw that you have to catch up on like so many seasons to like be in the loop. So I was like, oop, I'm too lazy to do that. And then whenever I see Tell Me Lies stuff now, I'm like, I want to know what's going on. Like that's ridiculous. I sound silly. I sound silly and stupid that I have FOMO over a TV show. I don't even like TV shows. I don't have the attention span for TV shows. I'm not like a movie TV girl. So why do I feel the need to watch a show just because everyone else is talking about it? With that being said, though, I never started it, so I think that's growth. There was another brand event this week that I saw everyone posting at that also like kind of hit me the same way that Nespresso did because it's my favorite makeup brand. And every time I post like a makeup video or every time I go to Sephora, I always make sure to show them and tag them and like talk about how much I love their products. So when I saw they had an event in New York, and again, like I follow them, so I saw all the stories they were reposting, and it felt like everyone was there. Like again, it felt like they had room. It felt like they had a big capacity of people. So I was like, oof, oof, another brand that I love and like give attention to all the time that just like does not even have me on their radar in the slightest. So does it sound pathetic to say I was bothered by that? Yes, but that's the truth and I gotta let it out somewhere. When I talk about it, it makes me feel better. I'm like, it's stupid. It's stupid. I don't need to be there. I probably wouldn't even had fun. I probably would have felt awkward and I probably would have left early. So I definitely think that my issue with FOMO is that I confuse it with self worth. And like there's a really blurry line of me thinking, do I want to be there or am I sad that I wasn't worthy enough to be invited to that? And I know this sounds like really sad, but I'm someone that's super hard on myself, especially when it comes to anything like career related. I'm really, really hard on myself. And that's especially like when my jealousy and all of that is like at its absolute peak and like where it gets triggered the most. So I think FOMO does hit everyone the hardest, like where they're most insecure. Like I don't at this point in my life feel FOMO anymore when it comes to friend stuff. If I see friends out without me and I wasn't invited, I'm like, okay, maybe they just wanted time on their own, or maybe they know like this isn't even something that I would want to go to. Like it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm like, we're getting older, everyone's going their own ways. Some people still like to do these things, some people don't like to do those things anymore. Like I don't take that personally anymore. People start getting closer, people drift away. I don't take friendship stuff, like I don't feel FOMO over that. Where I'm at now, all of my FOMO I feel around people who do the same thing as me and like fearing that I'm missing out like on opportunities that other people are getting and I'm not getting. And I'm like, oh, like how fun would it have been if I was there? How cool would that have been? How proud of myself would I have been if I also got that thing that these people are getting? And that's why it's like hitting me so hard. I kind of put myself on this time limit that I have to do so many things before I turn 30 because then I tell myself like, well, in my 30s I'm going to be too old to do Coachella and Stagecoach and whatever else fashion weeks. So that's another like pressure that I've had lately. I feel like I need to do these things before I get to a certain age. And please, if you're listening to this, do not take this advice. You're never too old to do anything. There's literally no timeline on anything. You could go to Coachella at 50 years old if you wanted to. You could go skiing for the first time at 55 years old. You could do anything at any age. And that's something that I am really trying to convince myself as well. I think it's pretty obvious that what makes FOMO so bad and like why it's such a common thing to feel is obviously social media. Every time you open your phone and you see videos and you see stories, everyone's showing the coolest thing they did that day, and you're just seeing everyone's coolest thing every day, and you're only also really seeing the people that do a lot of cool things all the time. So you're just seeing like all these huge milestones and achievements and trips and vacations and events every time you open social media, because that's the stuff that's like people want to post about. And just seeing all these people do all these things makes you feel like, oh my God, why am I just sitting at home doing nothing? There's so many things I've only even learned about from social media that I now feel like I want to go to for some reason. Like F1. I never knew what F1 was. If you would have asked me what's F1 2 years ago, I would have thought it was like football related. And now when an F1 season rolls around, I'm like, I kind of want to go to F1. Like that seems so fun. But it's like, do you actually want to go to F1? Do you actually care about race car racing. I don't even know how to say the sport. Like, so clearly, like, that's not what I want to do. I think what more makes it seem so appealing to me is I see everyone else there, and I'm like, they make it seem like it's this coolest thing of the whole year. Like, now I want to go to F1. F1 is just one example. There's so many things like that that I only discover from influencers talking about, and now suddenly I'm like, I want to do that. And I think I have to remind myself, like, you don't actually want to do that. You don't. You do not care about that stuff. Like, if there was some type of Fortnite influencer convention and you're like playing Fortnite together and everyone's getting their own skin, that is something that if I wasn't there and I saw people posting it, I would really feel FOMO. I would feel like, whoa, I'm missing out. I wish I was there. But when I see stuff like F1 or a rave in Aspen, I don't even like cars and I don't like raving. That's when I need to remind myself, like, this is not FOMO. You don't want to be there. You just are seeing everyone's highlight reels and feeling jealousy that they're doing more cool things than you are at this very moment. And you don't need to be there. Like, this is their moment. If there was a Fortnite convention, that would be your moment. This is theirs. So that being said, I'm trying to cure my FOMO, and I was thinking about, like, what are the solutions to FOMO? The number one solution that comes to my mind is lower my screen time. And I feel like with every thing that makes me feel anxious or stressed or behind, the answer is always to lower my screen time. Lowering my screen time, stop scrolling all the time, stop comparing myself to other people all the time would fix so many of my issues, but it's so hard. Pick up like all these hobbies to try to get my head not so much in my phone all the time and like in social media all the time. And I have been doing pretty good at that. I've been reading, I've been working out, I play video games. I think that video games is an enrichment activity because I won't get into it. I talk about that all the time. But playing video games is better than scrolling on social media, in my opinion. Not going on social media is a cure to so many things. Like, it's hard for me to say that because I love the internet and I'm so Gen Z and I'm so brain rot and I love social media and I love my phone. But it really is the root of like so almost every issue. So it's the first solution. And then I think a second solution that I already kind of do, but maybe someone else needs to hear this. If you're someone that craves experiences all the time and you see people doing things and you're like, I also want to experience that. I also want to try that. I also want to do that. Like, I only have one life. I want to do all of these things too. That's not really a bad thing most of the time. Like, you live your life to the fullest. And if it takes you finding it out from other people to want to do it, okay. I think where it gets like unhealthy is when you think you need to do it with certain people or at certain times and you see other people going there and you're like, oh, I want to go with them. Like, that friend group looks so fun. I think a healthier way to go about it is to still do all those things that you want to do, but you can also do them yourself. I do so many things by myself. When I hear people say things like, oh, I want to start going to Pilates, but I have no one to go to Pilates with. Like, what? You don't need someone to do that with. I go out to eat by myself. I go shopping by myself. I work out by myself. I go to events by myself. I do so many things by myself to the point that it's like completely normal and comfortable now. And if I do have the desire to do something and like no one else can go, like, I'll do it myself. If it's something I really want to do and I'm going to keep thinking about it, like, I'll do it myself. And I think that is a fix to FOMO because you'll just do it yourself and find out, and maybe you don't even like it. Like skiing, for example. If you see everyone skiing and you have FOMO over the ski lodges, oh, the word just came to me, and you feel FOMO, a way to scratch that itch is like actually just going skiing. Go to a random ski place by you. You can go by yourself. If you live in Jersey, you could literally go, or New York, you could go to the American Dream Mall and literally ski inside. And maybe you'll do it and realize you hate it. And then when you see other people skiing again, you won't feel that FOMO and you'll be able to like tell yourself like, I tried it. I did ski once. Like, I know what it's like now. I can cross it off of my bucket list and move on past that. Once you do experience those things one time and you realize that like people make it out to be like so much more than it really is, you don't start craving being there as much anymore. Okay, guys, I think that's all I got on FOMO. And this felt really vulnerable to me because I feel like it is embarrassing to admit that you get jealous and to admit that you want to be places that you're not wanted. There's something really embarrassing and vulnerable about it, but I had to just let it out. Maybe if you also feel the same way and you hear me saying this, it'll make you feel better and you'll know that it's normal. And just remember, blame everything on human evolution. Anytime you feel something, blame it on human evolution. Be like, this is just part of my human DNA. Like, I can't control it. I was meant to be this way. That's what I do. I promised I would save my life updates for the end of the episode. So if you care to hear what's been going on in my life for the past 2 weeks, stay tuned for a few more minutes. So obviously, I moved. This is my first episode in the new apartment, and I love it so much. This was mine and Chris's first time living together, and it's been going great. I feel honestly feels like no different. He goes into the office 5 days of the week, so it kind of works really nicely because I get to have the place by myself to make content and everything. I hate recording in front of people, and actually, when I had a roommate, it was really stressful for me because I was like the submissive roommate, if you may. So, like, if I knew my roommate was in the kitchen or had friends over, I literally would stay in my room because I didn't want to disturb her. If I heard her making lunch, like, I didn't want to disturb her. If she had a friend over and they wanted to watch a movie out in the living room, like, I wasn't gonna go be that weird roommate that like starts cooking dinner as they're watching a movie. So I've always felt like so confined in my room. And also, if I knew she was home, like, I didn't even feel free to talk to my phone because I was like, she can hear me. Like, this is awkward. So this is my first time that I have a roommate, I guess you could say, if you want to call Chris my roommate, that I feel like really comfortable with, obviously. And it kind of feels back to when I was like living by myself. And I really feel like this is a home again. If you're someone like me that's like kind of on the awkward, shy end, I don't suggest having a roommate unless it's like a partner. Having a roommate, I feel like never goes as planned, and like it doesn't feel like you're home. This is the first apartment that I've really been like decorating and getting furniture I like and making it feel like it's my home because I know I'm going to be here for a while, and I know that like I don't need Chris's approval on anything I do. Like, he'll approve whatever. When I lived in a studio, I didn't care to get like any type of nice furniture or anything. I knew I was going to be there really short term, and I knew I didn't want to be in a studio after that year. So I was like, why am I going to get like super small furniture if I don't even want to be here? So like I never cared to like make that studio feel like home. And then when I had a roommate, she's who got all of the furniture for the whole apartment other than my room. So I never felt like it was mine, you know? Like I never felt comfortable to just lay down on the couch and like cook up a storm in the kitchen. Like it never felt like mine. It felt like I was just like paying rent for my room. So it feels so nice to just like be free, be free and like feel like this is a home, and it's been so fun to decorate it and like make it feel like my own place. So that's been really fun. And then I was really sick last week. It was like a really strange sickness though. My mom works with little kids, so whenever I get sick, it's coming from my mom. Like always, because she's always around little kids. They get her sick because kids are always sick. They touch everything and then they go get their teacher sick. It was a really interesting type of sickness. Like I wasn't even sneezing or coughing. I just had crazy congestion. Like my head felt so congested. I was blowing my nose like crazy. I just had like such a headache and felt so congested. I just didn't want to do anything. And then when that went away, then I got Chris sick. And Chris was sick all of this week. He didn't go into the office at all. Could not record the podcast with him here. That had to wait until he left. I feel like that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys again next week. Let me know if you like the Wednesday or if I should move this to the weekend. I don't know. I'm willing to like change anything about this. It's very much up in the air. So I'm always open to what you guys think, any commentary, any ideas, any suggestions. anything like that. And yeah, love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to follow me everywhere else. And if this is your first time listening to me, welcome. I hope this one kept you interested since I didn't make it all about me. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.